Good morning. Different setup today. And sorry about the mic. I don't know, it might sound a little bit different today, the mic. Got the travel setup going today. Welcome back, guys. Travel setup today. So if anything looks different, that's why. I'm back home for the weekend. Another wedding. I've been to like 7 weddings this year, including last year. This is the first of 2023. Here for the weekend. I have my house here in Naples still. Morning. Well, I'm around that age, Chris. I'm 28, so everyone's getting married. No, Miami, it just so I had to come home for the weekend for a wedding, and that's why I'm here. But I kept, so like how I was trading before, when you guys used to watch the live streams, everything's still in the house, so this is all the same. The picture's gone. That's in Miami. Everything else is the same. Screens I kept here. Just had to bring the camera, bring the computer. I really should buy myself a laptop. I need to buy myself a laptop. That would be probably a smart idea. But it's pretty easy to travel with the Mac Mini. The pillows are there. Pillows are still there. Albert Einstein's in Miami. He stayed in Miami for me this weekend. I'm at the age when everyone's divorcing. Oh, that's good. That's good. I've been renting my house out in Naples for the first year, just because I didn't know how much I would like Miami. I just played it safe, just in case, let's say I went to Miami and I didn't love it. I don't know why I wouldn't have, but I always, if you know anything about me, I'm always on the side of caution. So just in case I didn't love Miami, I kept the house, and just in case, I don't know, just if I wanted to come back for a weekend, or if I felt like I could drive, or if I could trade from here for a week, my house is so cheap, guys. I got lucky. I mean, I bought this house for $270. I pay $1,300 a month for this mortgage. I'm in at like 3% at $270,000 on this house. It's crazy. So it obviously $1,300 a month is still, it's still a payment, but it's like, for me to still have this, to be able to come back to, it's almost worth the $1,300. But if I plan on staying in Miami longer term, maybe like 4 or 5 years, then I'll probably rent this house out. Because they're renting for around $3,500 a month. So I could cash flow like $2,000 a month if I did rent this out. Oh, I'll never sell this house. Never. This is my, this set me up for everything. Buying this house when I did set me up for everything. I'm actually thinking about buying another one of these same properties in this development to have 2 of them, but we'll see. Taxes in Florida are so cheap. I think I pay $2,400 for the whole year on taxes. So, good morning, guys. Welcome back. For anyone stopping in, I am back in Naples, so that's why you guys see a little bit of a different setup today. I'm here for the weekend for a wedding. Kept my house here so I can come back and do this exact thing. So I'm happy I can now take advantage of being able to keep this house and come back and work from there. It's really nice. The other big thing, which I didn't point out, for you guys that are still interested in this whole real estate conversation. Me keeping this house, my Miami apartment is considered an entire office. So this is my primary residence. Miami is an office. So I can write off the entire Miami rent for my taxes, which is fantastic. I mean, I pay like little bit more. It's like almost a little bit less than half off the Miami rent just because of the deductions, because it's my office technically. This is my primary residence still. So that's another big reason why I did what I did. All right, so good morning, guys. Welcome back. Today we have PPI, we have jobless claims, we have some important things to watch out for on the market. The market as we speak is breaking down a little bit under a key 4150 level on the ES, something to be paying attention to. We're still in that channel. We're still stuck in no man's land technically. So the directional moves are intraday. They are still intraday. They are still not anything of significance. We'll have to see how the economic data affects the market today. I think that's going to be our biggest read this morning. How does the PPI and how does jobless claims affect the market? So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Yeah, let's do it. So today we're looking at futures economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pull up that economic calendar real quick so we can see what we're looking at here. So here's the economic calendar today, guys. Here's Thursday. I'll go ahead and zoom in for you. Jobless claims, PPI, building permits, housing starts, Philadelphia Fed manufacturing survey. But these are the big ones right here, these top three. PPI, jobless claims. We'll see that live. So we can go ahead and take a look at that. So that's at 8:30. And then tomorrow, pretty much nothing. So that's pretty much the end of the economic events for this week. The mic's good. Yeah, it's a Blue Yeti. I always thought it was a good mic. I just never really used it. So maybe I'm gonna have to start using this one. It's nice. So yeah, that's that. Earnings calendar. Let's go to the earnings calendar. The earnings. We had some earnings last night. We had Shopify, which broke my heart. I wanted to see Shopify go to the moon, but unfortunately it did not. So here's the earnings. You guys can see here, yesterday was Roblox, Trade Desk in the pre-market. After hours, Shopify, Roku. I think Twilio as well. Yeah, Roku's up, Shopify's down. Today in the pre-market, we had Datadog, Crocs, Paramount. I'm actually interested to see what Paramount did. DraftKings tonight, DoorDash tonight. It's pretty much it. Nothing major. But let's go ahead and take a look. What did Paramount do? And it went down. D-Dog, I think, is Datadog. That's down as well. All right. So that's the earnings economic. Google 96. Congratulations, guys, if you caught that. That was a 6 swing trade from yesterday, from Tuesday into yesterday. We caught that in the chat. I'll go over exactly why I took that, but I'm probably going to make a video about it tonight, sort of talking about swing trading off these demand levels on the market. I think this was an awesome trade. This is probably one of the cleanest swing trades I've taken in a while. So I'll talk about Google today. Nvidia 230 supply is definitely something I'm interested in. If the market does fall today, if we see any weakness today in the market, I really like this Nvidia 230 supply. Microsoft channel to be watching on Microsoft. Apple 155. CRM has a really nice bull flag. Sounds louder. Yeah. CRM has a really interesting bull flag that I'm watching, but of course we're going to need market strength for that to work out. Coinbase, we talked about Coinbase on the live stream yesterday. That thing was badass. Huge move on Coinbase. We could be seeing, if the market does move lower today, we could see that Coinbase move sort of fade, right? We could definitely see that fade, that Coinbase move, so I am interested in that. And then finally, Meta 176. Watching this Meta 176 level today. So those are the tickers we're going to look at today. And then obviously we'll go over some other names, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're going to start here on the ES. And the important level here to watch before, obviously jobless claims is going to affect this, but the important level in my opinion right now is this 4150 here on the ES. So if I go to the 30-minute chart, actually, you know what? I think maybe we can see it better here. Yeah, we could see it decent on the 15. You guys can see right here on the 15. I'll go ahead and zoom in. We had this 4150 level that sort of was acting as a rejection point. Both Monday here, 4150. Tuesday, we had a little 4150 sort of congestion up here and then a fall. And then yesterday, we had 4150 reject as well. But ultimately, end of day, we did slide through that level at pretty much the close. About 5 minutes before close, we squeezed through that level. Now today, look at where we're back below, right? This is very important. We are back below the 4150 level. And that pretty much that puts us right back to where we were, right? We're right back between this channel, 4150 and 4105, and pretty much nothing has changed. So we have to be long today, right? You have to see a move over 4150. You can't be going long back into 4150, in my opinion, right? If you were long into 4150 here, you got sort of pushed down, you got sort of messed up there. Obviously, if you took calls at end of day, maybe you got a 4150 squeeze, maybe you took advantage of that. But you can see we are right back under 4150. You do not want to be long up here at 4150, right? That is very, very clear. Rejections, 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 and now we are back below it. So in my opinion, if we're below 4150, things could get a little bit weak here, obviously depending on economic data, but I think you can see weakness here under 4150. The reason for that is because this area, I don't trust this area to be any type of real support on the market. This area is just a chop zone. It's just an up and down movement. It's just pretty much a black hole of price action that just sort of was trading in between 4150 and 4105. So today, if the economic data does cause weakness, I think you could trade back down and retest that 4105. I think that's very possible to see if we retest this 4105 today. That would be the channel low. Is there some trades to take advantage of back to 4105? Yeah, possibly, right? Possibly. However, once again, all right, we have to respect the channel. So if we go to the 30-minute chart, we still have to respect the 4105 low. All right, we still have to respect the 4105 low. You can see 4105 right here, right? 4105 here, 4105 on Tuesday, 4110, but it was pretty much the 4105 zone again yesterday. So you continued to hold this demand low down here around 4105. We still have to respect that, right? We still have to make sure if we're trading here, we can't be getting too aggressive now on shorts down at this level. So again, it's just a channel trade like we've seen for a pretty extended period of time. This is those periods when the market trades in channels that we have to respect these levels very, very, we have to keep it very true of these levels. 4150, 4105. I would look for either shorts off 4150 today. I would look for maybe longs off 4105. Or, if you do break that 4105, maybe there's a short entry back down to the 4050 if the market really does get weak today. That's a big if. So again, the levels have not changed. These are the same levels we talked about in the live stream yesterday. 4150, 4105, 4170, which is where we did reject. You guys can see right here, very clear rejection point, right? Right there, and look at what we did again in the pre-market today. So 4170, 4150, 4105, right? Those are the levels that I would be watching today on the ES. And we'll relook at this once PPI and jobless claims does get released. NASDAQ. So this is a very, very important level on the NASDAQ that we're trading at as of right now. As we speak right now, we are trading back at the Tuesday highs, right? You can see right here, we have the Tuesday's highs right here around this 12,675, right? 12,675, and we're trading right back at it. So today is going to be, do we hold this or do we fall back below it, right? You guys can see right here, do we hold this previous high? Right. Let me get this set up right there, right there, right there. Do we hold that? All right, also right here. Do we do a little break and retest and hold this level, or do we fall back below it? If we fall back below it, then you're right back in the same channel that we were both Tuesday and yesterday of this week. All right? So I think you watch that 12,675 here today. You can see that this uptrending channel is very much alive. Do we break that uptrending channel today? If we do, could that cause weakness back to 12,450? Absolutely. All right? If you see this uptrending channel break, we could get this move back to this demand low. Demand low, demand low. We could see that move if the market does weaken today. If we break this uptrending channel, right, we could get that move back to this demand low. That is very possible as well. So we got to watch out for this demand low at 12,450. That's the level that's held both Tuesday and yesterday. It also held back here Monday, Tuesday of last week. If we break this uptrending channel, which we have been in, do we start to see that slip come in? Or do we see this previous Tuesday high turn into a demand today? Those are some of the scenarios that I'll be watching for. And obviously we'll get a little bit more insight here as PPI and jobless claims gets released. All right? And then very clearly, right, very clearly, you guys can see the major supply that is still rejecting this market. It's no surprise that this high, this high, this high, and right here we tap that 12.8 again, and we're starting to see those rejections set in. So very clear, major channel, right? 12.8, 12.3. You're sort of just trading in between it. You're trying to find those intermediary levels to play off of. Right now, I'd say 12.675 and then 12.450. All right. Russell, yeah, just sort of rejecting these highs here. What is this, around 1970? You guys can see all these previous highs that stepped in around 1970. And then I would just watch this previous low right here. What is this, 1950? See what happens at 1950 today if you're watching the Russell. You guys can see right here. If I zoom in, previous low, previous low, previous rejection, previous rejection. You're probably going to see a move back to that 1250 or 1950. Do you retest it and hold, or do we fall back below that level? That's going to be the key today, right? Right here at 1950 on the Russell. All right, so that's 1950 on the Russell. If we go to the YM, the Dow, same exact thing as it always been, just stuck in a channel. Pretty ridiculous price action on the Dow. We're at the top of this little range. You guys can see right here. We're sort of stuck at this 34,200 level. And we got that support down at 33.6. But again, the Dow has just been so stuck. So let's we'll relook at all this in about, what is that, 13 minutes? When the jobless claims and PPI does get released. All right, Tesla. So Tesla's interesting. Tesla was very strange yesterday. Tesla was just sort of stuck in this 213 to 212 area for like an hour. Actually, more than that. It was what, like 2 hours? We were just doing nothing. We had an aggressive sell and a big buy. Pretty much nothing. Today, I would see if Tesla loses this like 214 level. I think 214 to like 212, this whole zone. I think if Tesla loses this zone here between 214 and 212, then I think you could see that downside come in again on Tesla. But if Tesla is able to hold that 214, let me go ahead and go to like the 15. You'll probably see this better. Yeah, this is a little better on the 15. Let me go out to the 15 minute, 15 day. Let me extend this to the left. Extend to left. Extend to left. So this zone here is sort of what I'm watching on Tesla. Do we lose it or do we hold above it? Previous highs here, right? Previous little congestion here from yesterday. Do we lose this 214, 212 zone, this $2 zone? If we do, then I could see that retest still being possible back to like the 200. If we hold this zone, right, this could be a little hold and retest of this 212, 214. Obviously, this is going to depend on the market today. Is the market weak? Is it strong? But I would be sort of careful on the short side. I would say until Tesla loses at least 212. But if we go to the 5 minute, you can see demand even stepped in here like at this 206. So Tesla's been a tough one to short lately. It's been a very tough one to short. I would just basically keep an eye on these previous levels that bounces came in at, like 207 there. I'd keep an eye on that. If you're short Tesla, watch out for 207, right? I'd watch out for this previous high here around 203, 200. Just continue to watch these previous areas that Tesla bounced in the past. So 214, 212 is the immediate area that I would be watching here on Tesla. If the market is strong today, right? If the market is strong today, I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. There is still nothing major of rejection points until like this 220, 225, right? You can see here, rejections all up here in this red zone. That's only possible if the market is strong today, right? Tesla's not going to go to this 225 area if the market is moving lower today, right? It's not going to happen. So we'll have to see how the market reacts to it or how the market influences Tesla today. But right now you can see we are back below that little 214 high from yesterday. That's pretty important because 214 was the previous pretty major rejection today. You can see right here, or yesterday, 214 rejections, 214. It got a little north of it, but just about 214. Here in the after hours, it held 214. So under 214, I think things can flip a little bit, and you can see we're starting to sort of slice through that 214 right now. So 214, 212 would be my immediate levels to watch on Tesla. All right. Google. So Google, we took this swing trade. This was sweet, right? Why did I take this swing trade? We'll talk about this. We'll walk through this before jobless claims, and then we'll really get into like the day of technicals. So if I pull up my intraday commentary tab in the Discord, here's what I was talking about on Google. So I was saying monitoring Google over the next few days, looking to see if 93 level holds. Google selling is slowing down. The volume was slowing down on the sell side. Willing to think contrarian here at 93. All right. And why did I like the 93 level? Well, the reason I like the 93 is because we had this previous demand in this, or this previous consolidation between 93 and 91. You can see we had this little consolidation over here on Google, and we were trading back to it. And on Tuesday, we found some really strong demand off that level. That's why I took this swing trade. So I took some February 23rd, that'd be this week, February 17th, 94 calls. Got about 50% on those yesterday, and then took some March monthlies, 96 calls. Took 10 of those, sold half of them yesterday. This was yesterday, and then this was where I took 55%. I took those off, and then I also still am holding 5 of these Marches. So I was interested in that move because I figured if you got to move over 96, that you would squeeze to the upside, right? And so if I go to this 30-minute chart, which we did do for the in the meantime, we did do that. You can see as soon as we got over 96 on Google, you got that short squeeze. It sort of started to squeeze, right? A lot of people were stacked up short on Google at 96. You had these highs here, and I'm sure a lot of short sellers were using that 96 level as their stop loss. So once we got over that 96, if I go to the 1-minute chart, look at the movement that we saw over 96. Just really squeezed to the upside, pulled back, held it, which was nice, and then sort of consolidated higher rest of the day. Today, with my half position on Google, my half of my March calls, my new stop loss is 96, right? So I got in there at 93, and I want to see it hold above 96. If I go to the 5-minute chart, this is what gave me the confidence to go long Google. You guys can see this is on Tuesday, right? We moved back to that 93 zone that I was watching. We saw an aggressive buy out of that zone. We held higher, right? Inverse head and shoulder right at that 93. So I took some calls here for that swing. And yeah, so great trade. Going to put my new stop at 96, pretty much moving my stop up so that I can't go red on this position. And going to see if 96 can hold today. If 96 can hold today, and if the market is strong, I would watch this, right? This is a potential retest of a breakout level at 96. So see if Google can maintain that 96 today. I think that would be a nice watch. All right. We can go over to Nvidia. Nvidia 230 supply is pretty important. If I go to the daily chart, and actually, you know what? We got to go to the weekly chart. Actually, we'll just get more time. Daily chart, 5-year, pretty much just looking back at 2021. So you guys can see here back in 2021, this is September of 21. We had these previous highs here at 230, right? 230 rejections, we moved lower, we bet a big squeeze higher. 230 rejection here, and we're sort of chilling at that 230 level again, right? You can see right here in the 30-minute chart, look at what we've been seeing at 230, right? Major rejection here. We're back into 230, rejecting it again. Haven't been able to get north of that 230 level. And I don't mind the risk to reward here on an Nvidia short, right? You guys know I'm a big Nvidia bull. Obviously, I own a lot of shares of it. But when I see rejections, I have to trust them. And right now, I would say Nvidia, this is a pretty major rejection point at 230. So if the market's weak, right, if the market is aligning with downside, I definitely am interested in taking shorts around this 230. I would want to see 221 break first. That's the key for me. I would want to see this 221 break before I go short, because 221 here, right, 221 here, 221 yesterday, it bounced right off 221 yesterday. So I need to see 221 break before grabbing that short. If I can see 221 break, then I would be more interested, because then I know we're back below this previous demand. If we turn that demand into a new supply level, into a new rejection point, then I'm looking for that downside continuation, knowing that we're trading near that 230 supply, and that when we zoom out to the daily chart, right, there might be some downside to be had here if we can catch this 230 supply rejection. So I'm interested, right? And on the flip side, right, if the market rallies today, if the market just says, F it, right, we're going up again, you know, if Nvidia does one of these, right, I'm over that. I'm all over that also. Right, I'll look at this both ways. So if the market goes up today, if we rally today, and we get above 230 on Nvidia and we hold above it as a new support, yeah, I'm looking for that as well, right? I'm not going to just be blind to the fact that I'm not going to just ignore the fact that if we get above 230, that could be a nice hold and push. So 230, I think the supply rejection is pretty strong as of now. You can clearly see it. We'll have to see which way the market influences it today. 230, 221. You're going to want to see 221 break before you feel real confident on the short side. All right. So that's that. We got 3 minutes until the jobless claims in PPI. Do I want to look over? Let's wait. Let's just, I guess we can jump into some earnings ideas. We can look at Shop here. So Shopify lost 49, and if the market is weak today, I could make a case for more downside on Shopify here, right? Shopify never really retested this breakout back to like this 43. And if we go to the 30-minute, actually, you know what? We got to go to the hourly. If you go to the hourly chart, right? If Shop sees weakness under this 49, right, I could see us, moving lower here. Maybe back to that 43 retest level, which is right around here. You can see we're sort of bear flagging under that 49 right now. You guys see this right here? A little bit of a bear flag under that 49. If Shop stays under 49 today, if the market's weak, I could see that continuation possibility here. So I am going to sort of keep an eye on that myself. Shopify 49 rejection. If that comes in, I'll look for that downside. What else reported? We had what else reported? Yes. Oh, we had Roku report. So Roku, at some point you're gonna be able to fade this move on Roku. Probably not now because it's got the juice behind it. But yeah, Roku up on earnings. Who the hell knows where Roku goes? Such a crap stock in my opinion. I don't understand their business model, to be honest. They just sell. Yeah, I don't know. Roku. It is what it is. Where is it at? 70? I would say if you can get Roku back into like 83, that could be a nice area to start looking for that rejections. Back into like this 80 area, like back into these previous lows, all up in here. If you could see Roku back up in this 80 area, that's what I'd look for. back up in here. Rejection or all this support here, and then looking for that move back into 80. I don't know. I don't trade Roku, so I'm not going to even talk on it. What else reported yesterday? Oh, we got. Hold on. We're getting the data here. Here we go. Data time. All right. PPI jobless claims. Let's see what we got. Little downside. Little bit. It's getting bought up again. We've seen this before. Let's see. A little bit of downside there. It'd be nice if we could just do it. I'd like to just go. Let's just do it. Let's just stop trading in the channel. Just drop it. Let's trade it to the downside. All right. Stop making us think about whether this is going to get bought back up. So annoying. All right. So PPI 0.7 versus 0.4. So PPI much higher than the consensus. X food and energy 0.5 versus 0.3. So same as CPI, right? CPI was higher than expected. PPI is as well. That's obviously bearish for the market. Waiting to see what jobless claims looks like. So PPI higher, CPI higher. Jobless claims down 1,000 to 194. So it's pretty much flat. Yeah, less jobless claims. It's pretty much flat. I think the PPI number probably has a little bit more importance here today. So where are we at? Let's go to the hourly chart. Yeah, I mean, I think it would make sense that we trade back to that 4105 demand, right? I think that would make sense. The market doesn't really have anything major here. We have a little bit of 4125. All right, you got a little bit here at 4125. I don't think that holds it up. I would want to see us back here at 4105. I think that would be the level to look for today. Previous lows, right? Previous lows here. I would sort of keep an eye on yesterday's lows, and then 4105 here is what I'd be eyeing. Right, you can see right here, 4105. This was around 4115. So this whole zone, I'd keep your zone between yesterday's lows and 4105. I'd say 4115 to 4105. That would be the zone I'd watch here today, right here. All right, yesterday's lows and Tuesday's lows. So Tuesday, Wednesday's lows. Keep an eye on that zone. Careful, right? Careful. If you open up here, don't just buy puts because you're like, oh, we're going down today, right? You've seen what this market has done. You've seen the kangaroo action that can really mess you up if you have a bias and you don't pay attention to levels. You've seen that, right? Don't forget that. So yes, weak off of PPI. If you lose 4105, then I think you can get more aggressive, right? If you lose Tuesday's lows, if you turn Tuesday's lows into a rejection, then I think we could get aggressive here. But until we lose this area, 4115, yesterday's lows, and 4105, Tuesday's lows, until we lose this zone, just be a little bit cautious, right? Be a little bit cautious. So, all right. That's what I'd be watching. That's on the ES, okay? 4115 to 4105. On the NASDAQ, we did lose. Okay, so you can see, look at what we're doing right now. We lost that 12,675, the previous highs. We're pretty much trading right at that uptrending channel. If we lose that uptrending channel, I would say your next level to watch here is 12,535, 12,540, right here. This is the lows from the after hours and then Wednesday's lows. So here I'm going to zoom in for you. Here's what I'd be watching on the NASDAQ, right? You're watching yesterday's lows, which is around this 12,435, right? You can see right here, lows and lows. You have to be cautious shorting into these lows because this could happen, right? You have to watch for that. So 12,535, 12,540 zone right here. And then under that, I'd say you're looking at probably around this 12,450, 12,440 zone. That's Tuesday's lows. So again, Tuesdays, Wednesdays lows, that's what I'd be watching on the ES. On the ES, that is 41.15 to 41.05. And on the NASDAQ, that is 12.540, 12.535 to around 12.450, right? Watch these two lows right here. Make sure you're paying attention to those, all right? Let me zoom out here on the NASDAQ. Let me get hourly chart. So if you lose those two, then yeah, you're coming down to that 12.3 retest, right? If you lose all of that, if you lose that Wednesday low, if you lose the Tuesday low, then you have the Monday low. Really Friday low back at 12.3, right? What's the dollar doing? Dollar, yeah, the dollar's been holding this 103.50. Look at that. So that dollar is holding, if I zoom out, look at where the dollar is holding. The dollar is turning this previous support into support again. Dollar's holding above 103.50. So if that dollar maintains 103.50, might cause some weakness on equities. Let's go to the SPY today. Take a look at those SPY levels for you guys. The guys that are obsessed with the SPY and won't look at the ES. For the SPY, 408.50, right? I'd say 410 to 408.50 is where I'd be watching. Right here. 410 to 408.50. I would be very cautious getting too aggressive on shorts into these zones today. Right? You have the clear demand that stepped up at 410 yesterday. That's what yesterday's lows. And then you have that demand that bounced at 408.50. So 410, 408.50, just be a little bit cautious, right? Obviously you can see the risk to reward, right? This is all goes back to risk to reward. The people that were trading futures here this morning that were short off of, right? If you're trading futures, which I'm sure some of you out there are, I know Gold Sauce is, right? If you're trading futures, your risk to reward to the downside was fantastic up here. This is where your risk to reward from the downside was. This is where you take your shorts, right? Obviously, PPI helped you out there. You got that nice risk to reward short. But now this flips the story, right? You can't come into this market today and say, I still love the risk to reward, right, at these lows for shorts. It just doesn't make sense now. What you have to wait for is the next risk to reward to set up. The next risk to reward to the downside sets up under Tuesday's lows. This is now your good risk to reward to the downside, right? This is your next setup right here. Previous lows into rejections, right? That's where the next risk to reward sets up on the SPY or on the ES. Going short here, it would not make sense to stop out until a move over 41.50. And that is how much you have to risk for this trade to even make logical sense, right? To take a trade short here at 41.15, you'd have to keep your stop at 41.50, or you're stopping out for no reason, right? You're just stopping out because you're losing money at that point, which does not make sense. You do not trade like that. So I wouldn't, right? Just because you're down here, I wouldn't say, okay, now I'm going to go long, because the market's not showing that. Right? The market's not saying, oh, I'm going to just buy longs at this demand, right? You need to see this, right? This is why you went long at demand. You need to see this. This is why you went long at demand, because you consolidated, because you had congestion at that level. You saw those wicks start to get bought up. But if you're knifing down in two red candles, that doesn't now mean you go long here. That doesn't make sense, right? You need to at least see some slowdown today, a little bit of congestion here. Then maybe you get your risk reward that sets up back to the upside. So please think risk reward. Please think about these levels. You hear, it's not just me talking about it, right? It's everyone across, anyone that knows what they're doing. Carmine, for example, great, right? I can't say good enough about what he does on YouTube. It's the same exact concepts, right? They work. So pay attention to these levels, all right? I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know already, but I'm trying to talk to, the newer traders that aren't really understanding what's going on with the futures. It's very important in your trading. It is so important. All right, let's continue. Microsoft. I'm interested to see if Microsoft loses 265 today. If Microsoft loses 265, I am interested to see if the downside comes in. So 265 right here, previous double top high. Let's see if we lose that. If we lose that, you might be able to get that downside come in. But just be careful, right? 265 could also turn into a demand today, right? You could also turn 265 into a demand, but just watch this zone, right? 265, 275. See if one of those sides breaks. That's something I'm very interested in today. What's Tesla doing? Okay, so Tesla's now below that 212. Yeah, Tesla's now below that 212. So that's interesting. All right, if we lose 212 today, see all this support that was at 212 today? If we lose 212 today, you might trade back to those lows from yesterday. All right, if we lose 212, if we stay under 212, I'd watch like this 210, and then I'd watch this 207 yesterday low, right? So I'd watch 212. See if Tesla stays under 212 here. What did Google lose 96? Yeah, so Google might lose 96 today. If it does, I'm probably going to take off the rest of my March swing. So we'll see what Google does at 96 today. All right, Apple 155. Yeah, big rejection. Okay. So look at this. Look at Apple. I don't really love Apple for a trade because Apple's been pretty It's been so slow. But this is a pretty nice rejection point here on Apple, right? Rejection, rejection, rejection. 155 supply up here. You could maybe look to trade this back into that 151, 150, right? If the market does continue lower today. So I'd watch that 155 supply on Apple. I think that's an interesting watch today. Keep an eye on that. Let's jump over to Nvidia again. So Nvidia, yeah, that supply is interesting, man. I definitely would watch this today, guys. I like this. I've been eyeing this thing. Been hawking it a little bit. I need to see that 221 break, though. That's the important thing. All right, we got to see 221 break here. If we can get that 221 break, I like this. You also would be getting a little uptrend break as well. However you want to draw it. I draw it at the bottom of the candles, excluding the wicks. It's pretty much like this, right? You're sort of cracking that right now. So watch that 221 on Nvidia today. All right, CRM. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work out in this market, but I would keep an eye on it, I think, right? I think it looks at least interesting if the market does reverse today. If we do see strength, CRM is holding a previous 165 triple top, really like a quadruple top, but you can see this clear supply at 165. We got above it. We're holding it now. We're flagging. Could be a watch, right? I don't love it. I'm not really a CRM trader. I don't really trade this stock, so I can't tell you with any type of confidence whether this is going to be a nice move. But it is an interesting setup, right? Previous highs into these supports, right? It's an interesting little flag. I would monitor it, right? I would monitor it. Yeah, Shopify, I like the downside. Look at that. Look at that 49. We were just talking about this. We were just talking about this bear flag on Shop. So bear flag breakdown on Shop here, under 49. I think Shop, if you get earnings continuation, if you get continuation on the market, I think Shop should retest 44. It never retested this breakout here. You guys can see this big breakout. We never retested that. All right, so I think Shop probably could retest this 44. All right, I think that would make sense. So that's something I would watch for. The lows of this candle are 46.11. So 46.11. If you can lose 46.11, let's just call it 46 psych. If you can lose that 46, I think you got that 43. So that's what I would watch. All right. Let's go to Coinbase. Can you fade this Coinbase move? It's a little late now. I would have liked to be fading it already. But can you fade this Coinbase move today? That might be an interesting thought. So if you go to the 4-hour chart, Coinbase traded back into a pretty major supply level, right? You have all of this previous rejections here around 70, 72. You have this rejection here, and you traded right back into it yesterday off of what I would assume is a not very strong crypto move, unless, you guys are crypto guys where, everything's only going up. I don't know if I really trust a big crypto move like we saw yesterday, especially with what I'm seeing on the market. What's crypto doing this morning? Let's see. Ethereum is still up, I believe. Okay, it's down. It's sort of sideways right now, not really doing much. But I think you could possibly fade this move on coin, right? You have this previous high here that is rejecting all these previous channel highs, right? You look at that major rejection there. I would say look to see if it trades back into 62, right? That would make sense to me. Can you trade it back into 62? Right here, right? If you see this, you see this 62, right? This is that breakout point I was talking about yesterday. You might be able to get that retest of 62. So look to see. See what crypto does. Of course, if you're trading coin, guys, you got to be watching crypto. But 72, that's a pretty big supply. It's starting to fade. Look for that move back to 62 possibly. Meta is an interesting... Oh, man, Meta's doing it. Yeah, Meta's starting to do it. Okay, we were watching this 176 level yesterday. It's starting to get weak. Look at this. It was more like this 175.50. See this? All this step up yesterday. Look at where we stepped up on Meta. All this. It lost it. It lost it, and it's losing it. It's losing it aggressively, too. All right, this might be an interesting one here today. Where's the low here? So the low is, I would say, like 173. Yeah, Meta's getting a little interesting there. We lost that 176 level. We had some previous lows here, right? Previous lows, previous lows, previous lows. We lost it here. It might be running away from us a little bit. It might be running away from us a tad. We do have to be cautious shorting into like the 174s, 173s. But if you lose the 173, right, this gap fill might still be in play, guys. And this is a nice little, right, look at this. This is a nice little stair step. This could still have juice. This could still have juice. Right, look, it's a very clean stair step. Previous lows into lower highs. If we make new lows, right, this could get aggressive again. So, yeah, I'd watch this. I'd watch this. The only thing you have to be cautious of is how Meta reacts to these channel highs, right? You can see, look at all this channel high action over here. It's like around 172, 172.50. It's a little bit questionable, right? It's a little bit scary, right? It is. It's a little bit questionable whether I want to trade shorts into these channel highs. So just be weary of that today. See how it trades through those channel high levels. All right. All right, let's jump into, we got to go real quick. These live streams are getting longer and longer, man. I'm spending more and more time here, but I guess that's a good thing. If you guys enjoy it, man, press the like button. Press the like button. That's all I ask. Just a little like button action. I really would appreciate that. Enphase, Netflix, Boeing, XOM, Meta. We just looked at Meta, so make sure, hopefully you paid attention to that. Let's go over these real quick. If you guys could just press the like button, that would be great. No, there's no promo codes for the Discord. We do not discount outside of like big event like New Year's or Christmas. I do not discount my work, and I do not discount any work of people within the community. I do not. I'm not a big promo code guy. And anyways, people that join on promo codes, they end up leaving with when the monthly if I do like a 20% off for 2 months, they stay and then they leave after 2 months. They get nothing out of it. If you're joining for a promo code, you're not in it for the right reason. All right. So, Enphase. Yeah, this is interesting, man. This is interesting. You got a little previous low into rejections here, right? You got previous lows into some pretty clear rejections here, right? Right there, right there. That's interesting, right? I'd keep an eye on that. That's a nice little break and retest of that 220 area. Not bad. Netflix, hourly chart, it's channel. You need to break the channel. You got to break the channel. 344, 345. Maybe if you break these lows here, you could get a little juice. 354. Right here. You guys can see right here, lows, lows, lows. If you can lose 354, then maybe you can get the juice under that. I would look for Boeing. Boeing, watch these previous highs, 213, 214, right? Watch out for these previous highs here. If we lose that, then you're back in this channel. Could slide through that. And then finally, XOM. XOM's a tough one. It's just sort of grinding here. For me, I think I would watch the XLE, and I don't love the XLE. It's starting to fail around here, this 90 level. So I think you need to see, you know, XOM back or XLE back to 85 before going long XOM. Are we flushing? Oh baby, come on down. It's like the price is right. Come on down. Just give us some juice today, man. That's all I ask. But hey, guys, remember, right? We have to be careful. If we hold this 12,530 here on NQ, let's just be careful. We might get a little morning bull trap, and then we can short it. Just be careful of these levels, guys. Don't forget the levels. No matter how aggressive something looks, respect the levels. If we lose 4105, though, I could see that starting to get aggressive here. If we lose that 4105, right, I could see us starting to get aggressive here. You guys can see right here. We lose this low, we could probably see that 4050 again. But you can see, look what just happened off 4105. Look what's starting, it's trying, so we'll see. Let's see if it breaks. All right. All right, guys. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate everything you guys do for the stream, being active. Thank you guys for everyone in the chat that contributes there. Just overall, thank you for everything. Thank you for the support. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure to press that like before you head out. That would mean a lot to me. We're on a little bit of a streak, 1,000 like streak on the streams, both yesterday and the day before. We'll see if we hit it today. Maybe if I keep talking and wait for people to start pressing the like button, it'll happen. Yeah, thanks again, guys. Thanks for being on the stream. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Help me reach those Carmine Rosado numbers. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.